this is something that needed to be talked about for a very long time, is the assumed superiority to inferiority of how people perceive themselves versus how it is that they perceive me. So I've been on YouTube for a little while now, since 2015, really prior to that, but since I started to become known, 2015. And I've met some great people on here, but I've also met some really unusual individuals. There's some people on the internet who have this assumption that they are superior and that they have this superiority complex, even though they tend to be quite unsuccessful. Look, at the end of the day, if you individuals want to put on a whole new face when you come on camera and when you come off of camera, right? And when in the real world, or I should say, and when people know you face to face, people don't rock with you because you spend so much of your time doing people dirty. If that's how it is that you choose to live your life, all of that is good with me. But please, don't bring me into the nonsense. If you know that you're a weirdo and you don't know whether or not you coming or going, please do me a favor and do my loyal subscribers a favor and keep your weirdness and keep your lack of mental order away from us. Unless other people on my subscriber list decide they're going to go ahead and socialize with you, of course. They have their own minds. But you know, the idea that knowing people off screen and then they talk real reckless with me because it starts off as them saying that they have respect or coming from a place of admiration, and then in the twinkling of an eye, a huge flip. Next thing you know, they start acting up, they start cussing, they start going off completely unjustified. This and I'm trying to explain to people, this is the reason why it is that I am the way that I am. It's because through my entire life, I've had to deal with goofy individuals like these people. Some of the people online, some of the people online to my subscribers are the same type of people that I've had to deal with off screen, where it's real wishy-washy. These people who are fair weather, they're sometimes they cool, but then you really can't trust them. But then sometimes they cool, but they don't have a choice, but they're doing it for some sort of higher purpose. These people don't know whether or not they're coming or going. And it's sad that they are so delusional that they can't make up their mind. They can't make a decision. They don't have their own control. They don't have control over their own mind and their own actions sometimes. They're under a form of spiritual possession. And what's sad about it is the fact that they really perceive themselves as doing it for some sort of spiritual higher order. Because if you really pay attention to these people, and they always have to make themselves play the victim, which playing a victim in on itself constantly, all the time, without ever owning up to some of your own darkness, by definition, is a form of a lack of taking responsibility, yes, but also it just goes to show you how spiritually compromised you are. What can be said about a grown adult who doesn't see the fault in anything that they're doing, and they do things without justification, real justification, and without any kind of atonement, and without the ability to understand what it is that they're doing and have it be a correct decision in doing so? It's a person that you cannot trust. I've had many situations where I should say one situation that happened with me recently where it was a tarot card reader. I'm not going to say the person's name. The person is too goofy. Really, really goofy. The person can't even necessarily pronounce certain words correctly. Person knows absolute dog crap about history. And when I'm having a discussion with the individual couldn't take the fact that I I knew better history than the other person, then I should say this person, because this person has such a superiority complex to the point where they got so upset at the fact that I am who I say I am, and they have to lie and they have to put on for the camera, to the point where I'm trying to put this person on for their own good. And what they did is they decided to have a problem with me and just stop talking to me and ghost unjustifiably. How many times I've met these weirdo so-called subscribers who contact me for a personal reading in my emails. They're constantly in my emails, but they don't ever actually come through for a reading. Shout outs to all the real subscribers that's come through, that come through for a reading, that hasn't come through for a reading, but they don't show me any kind of bad face, where 1 minute they cool, the next minute they acting like they brand new. Shout outs to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are day ones. But people, I want y'all to pay attention to the fact that since money has been introduced, and lots of it, on this YouTube stuff, people will try any kind of antics and tactics and tricks in order for them to be able to pull the wool over your eyes and convince you that they are kind, altruistic, long vision, or long-sighted people, when in actuality, they're short-sighted, greedy, highly manipulative, and overall untrustworthy. You know good and well the face of a true villain and the face of a person who is not meant to be trusted when they are constantly talking about how it is that them being disrespectful to somebody who is not being disrespectful to them and they are doing it on a constant onslaught is for the greater good. That's a person that everybody should be very suspicious of. They claim that they're doing something for the betterment of it, but at the same time, what in actuality that they're really doing is trying to tear the other person down. But they are not giving any or offering any kind of alternative or any kind of any substance that would not only replace it, but would actually be an upgrade. It would leave you in a better position and not a worse one. The only thing that these weirdo people do is destroy, 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 destroy. And a lot of this destruction comes from jealousy and envy. A lot of it comes from jealousy and envy. Jealousy and envy are not necessarily the same things. People, I want you to understand that jealousy comes from a place of them wanting what it is that you have, them wanting that spotlight that you have. Envy is when they want to knock you out of the place, however they do it, however they have to do it, given a chance, given an opportunity to be you, to move in your spot. So one wants to share it with you. One, jealousy wants to share the spotlight with you. Envy wants to become you or move you completely out of the space. Erase you, if you catch my drift. And like I said, since the implementation of money with this YouTube AdSense thing and sponsorships and all this other type of stuff, this shows this was a blessing and a curse. I say that it's a blessing because it really goes to show you the extent of how people are willing to go and how greedy and how downright jealous, gluttonous, and envious people some people really are. Not all, but a lot of people really are. Pay attention to the type of people that are giving you these YouTube videos. If they have a track record of being greasy, if they have a track record of being exploitative, these are not the people for you to be trusting in. If they do not deal with things above the table where they are actually producing benefits to you, these are not the type of people that you can trust. People who are put in a position like mine or even greater should be giving back to you because of the fact that we have a particular position that we can afford, the ones who are fortunate to not necessarily have to go to work. So if we're not producing any kind of goods and services to you in a way that gives back to you, that is actually substantial, that you can use for the rest of your life in a way that helps you free yourself, this is something that you should not be investing in any time, any more time, or any more of your attention into it. And let it not be your money as well, but even more so your time and your effort. Be aware of what's going on and be aware at the fact that people approach you who are the fakest individuals oftentimes comes with a smile, and they always act like they are altruistic and they often are charismatic. Be aware and develop the ability, as of what I am trying to show you and teach you here on my channel, Goods and Services, which is a service, how to see through a person's mask and understand if the person is really being real with you and if they're being fake.